Oh, are we on? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Saturday Night Geek Podcast. Finally, after about a month and a half hiatus, we are back. And as you notice, good old Gravy George has left us. But don't worry, we have a new host, Tobias. Say hello,
Hey
Tobias.
guys, what's going on?
So, here in America, it is our wonderful 4th of July, America's Independence Day. So I do apologize for the occasional boomings and explosions in the background if you are not from America or just anyway. So yeah, there will be noise. So let's get started. Tobias, what shall we start with first? Force Awakens
Um,
is a great idea.
yep, you lead it. Now I'll see where we go.
All right, Force Awakens, the next chapter in the Star Wars, in the next chapter in the Star Wars saga, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Yeah, so a little bit of news for that came out this week. Of course, we do have San Diego Comic-Con next week, which is going to be really, really exciting. Everybody's speculating that there will be a third trailer, and most likely the official full-length theatrical trailer, not a little teaser that we've gotten at what's it called? Help me out here, Celebration, and then on Black Friday last November, which I honestly believe would be totally, completely believable because one, we've got less than 6 months till the movie comes out. Two, it's Comic-Con for crying out loud, and they're devoting a whole entire panel for this Force Awakens. Three, Ant-Man comes out a week after, and what better Disney movie at around this time to put in a whole brand new Star Wars Force Awakens trailer with than Ant-Man? So the signs are there, the hints are there. I think we're going to see a trailer. Now, if we do
Seems
see
like
a
it.
trailer, what I'd love to see is and I think with theatrical trailers as opposed to like that sort, we do get a little bit of plot detail and like what's the story about. So I'm really excited to see where they're going to take this story and how they're going to do it. But if there are three things I want to see from this trailer, if we do get one, I'd love to see a little bit of a lightsaber wielding like Rey or Finn, because if you've seen the concept art of Finn, he does have Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope. And also you have seen Maz Kanata, who is played by Lupita Nyong'o, hand a lightsaber to who we all believe is Princess Leia. So somehow I'd love to see something with Luke's old lightsaber. Two, I'd love to see a little bit, maybe I'd love to see R2. We've seen R2D2. Now we need to see C3PO because some of the leaked product pictures and some promotional art have shown C3PO with a red arm, a whole red arm. So I'd love to see that and have that officially confirmed. So that's number two. And three, more Daisy Ridley, because Daisy Ridley's like my celebrity crush right now, and I think she's just completely beautiful. So, Tobias, what would you want to see out of a third trailer?
I really want to see a rap segment with Jar Jar Binks going up against Darth Sidious, and probably some of the Susan Boyle soundtrack they might be having.
I don't think that's going to happen, Tobias. Sorry to burst your
Well,
bubble.
I don't think it'll be in this trailer, but I think we may get it. No, I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I think it's cool if they do release another trailer. I think the last trailer is pretty good. Maybe more on what maybe if Lando Calrissian's gonna be in it or not. Like I don't know if there's been any news or anything about that, but it'd be cool to see him back.
Yeah, I don't think he's confirmed. Yeah, he's not going to be in 8, but there are 7. The writer for 8 has hinted on the possibility. Has kind of hinted at the fact of Lando returning, which I would honestly love to see because, I mean, it's freaking Lando Calrissian, the smoothest guy in the galaxy. Because, I mean, how many guys would you know that would go up to Princess Leia and within 5 seconds do something like, "Hello, what have we here?" and just totally be like, "Han, get out of here. She's mine." And then Han, of course, Han steps up and is like, "Back off. I'm taking your ship. This is my woman. So back off." So that's going to be really cool to see if they do put Lando in 8. But also, on the topic of Star Wars movies, movies after Episode 7, Star Wars Rogue One, the first anthology film, has reportedly started filming in Pinewood out in London. Felicity Jones is playing a unspecified character. We don't know who really she is or anything. But from what we do know is that she has filmed her first scene, and there are a lot of trees and bushes and shrubs and all kind of plants and things like that being brought into Pinewood. And there's also some, like, they're also using a lot of, like, sets from The Force Awakens and kind of doing, like, Star Destroyers and that kind of thing. For those of you who don't know what Rogue One is about, it's about the Rebels stealing the Death Star plans. And,
Oh, that's gonna be great.
And I was talking with a friend of mine. His name is Corey. He does a podcast called the Wolfpack Podcast. It's another amazing, fully dedicated Star Wars podcast. Definitely go check them out. They're really cool. They always have something cool to talk about. But I was talking with Corey the other day, and I was saying, hey, it'd be a really cool way to end the Rogue One is since that, the stealing the Death Star plans is like, kind of what happened right before Episode 4. And also, in the opening crawl for A New Hope, it says that Rebel Alliance has just achieved their first victory against the Empire, which is obviously now we know is the stealing of the Death Star plans. So for me, what I would love to see at the end of Rogue One is the Rebel blockade runner fleeing from the Star Destroyer at the end of the movie, and then automatically that leads into Episode 4 when you see the Rebel blockade runner go right over the screen, followed by the Star Destroyer. I think my guess is that's just my prediction of how they're going to end that movie. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. I think it's just really, really. I think it'd be just really cool to go see Rogue One, see that at the end, and then go home and immediately start watching A New Hope. So I think that'd be really cool. What do you think about that, Tobias?
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet. It'd fit well. Is this? I think we were talking about this the other day. Are they gonna release Force Awakens this year? Then they'll have the spin-off, so Rogue One, and then Episode 8. Are they gonna do like a movie a
Yeah,
year?
it's gonna be chronological movie chronological spin-off kind of deal. So it's gonna alternate every year. I think for like the next like 6-7 years. I think they're gonna do it like that.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Who's directing?
What'd you say?
Who's directing Rogue One?
I think it's Gareth Edwards. I think I'm like 95% sure. Yeah, Gareth Edwards is doing Rogue One. Also, speaking of Rogue One, there was a little piece of concept art that's been described. For those of you who have seen Red Dawn, one of the greatest 80s movies ever made, it's all about the Russians invading America and America just being like, oh, crap, wow, I'm kind of surprised. We're kind of surprised this happened. But there's a scene in Red Dawn where a bunch of Americans are taken prisoner to like a education camp kind of things. And the way they described this concept art, it kind of sounded just like that scene from Red Dawn because there's like a fence and there's people looking in the fence and out of the fence. And they kind of said, that's kind of reminding of Red Dawn. So I think that there's really not much we know still about it, about the whole deal. But that'd just be really cool to see, like an homage to like an old Red Dawn movie, to like the original Red Dawn. Also, Rogue One is Gareth Edwards has said Rogue One will be more. It's going to put the wars back in Star Wars. Just like some of the cast on the crew has done like movies such as I think it's like Zero Dark 30, Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan, just some really cool war movies. So I think we're really going to see the wars put back in Star Wars. I think for
That'd be
Rogue
sweet.
One. So I think so. I'm excited for Rogue One. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is my most anticipated movie of this year right now. It's just getting exciting to, just watch
It's
these
getting closer.
trailers. What'd you say?
It's getting closer every day.
Yeah, we've MakingStarWars.net has an official countdown, and we are at 166 days, 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 30 seconds till The Force Awakens comes out. Um, one reason that we haven't really had a podcast in a while is because I've got a job at a movie theater, so I've really not had really any time to go and really do a podcast since I've been working. But I kind of figured out that there's like a 99.9% chance that I'm going to have to work on the premiere date for The Force Awakens, which kind of really bums me out because I really wanted to go see that at midnight. So,
Call in sick and still go to the movies.
yeah, I mean, honestly, if I tried that, I'd probably get fired. Um, but I mean, who knows? We may get a they do kind of they do kind of what's it called? They do kind of my movie theater. They do kind of like screen movies just like a day before, like a lot of those early showings, just to make sure the sound's right and pictures right and things like that to make sure it's all good. So it'd be cool to get to go see one of those like a couple days before it's actually released. So I think that's pretty cool. Um, so I think it's also one more little bit of Star Wars news. Actually, a couple more pieces of Star Wars news. And on the topic of The Force Awakens, for those of you who have Disney reward points, the Star Wars teaser poster is now available as a redeemable item for rewards. I myself redeemed one yesterday morning, like right when I woke up. I read that on a Yak Face, immediately jumped on Disney rewards and got one. So in about 2 weeks, I'll get one. So I'm really excited to get one because every time I walk by it at work, I just like end up staring at it for a minute, and just like, I want this poster. This is nice. I want one. And when I saw it, I was able to get one. I'm thinking, holy crap, I got to get this. So do have one coming my way. And then also one more little bit of Star Wars news. Star Wars Rebels, the amazing cartoon from Lucasfilm that succeeded the Clone Wars. Season 1 has been announced for Blu-ray and DVD release on September 1st. So just 3 days before Force Friday, Star Wars Rebels Season 1 will be coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, which I will be gladly going to pick up on release day. I'm super excited. That's one of my favorite cartoons to watch right now. I think it's just really cool, to see, original trilogy aspects, in animated form. Oh, excuse me. TIE fighters and stormtroopers and Darth Vader. And, of course, now we have Ahsoka back, which is awesome. And we have a whole batch of new characters such as Ezra and Kanan and Hera, Sabine, Chopper, and, of course, the lovable Zeb. So I think it's just really cool to see how such a awesome time period in Star Wars history can be converted into a cartoon. So I loved the season 2 little hour movie event that they did a week ago. Loved that. I'm really bummed that I have to wait all the way till fall for season 2 to officially begin. But oh well. I think the season 1 DVD should tie me down until then. Let's
Have
see.
they released a list of the special features on the Blu-ray?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
So let's see. What's next? Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's talk a little bit of Marvel here. The Guardians of the Galaxy 2 title has been officially revealed, and it is called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I think is awesome because one, it's a Guardians of the Galaxy sequel, and two, it's kind of jokingly named after Awesome Mix, Volume 1. Now it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The one thing I've wondered is if they're going to go back at a later date or at all and put for the first Guardians of the Galaxy and do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I think that'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, that would be cool.
To see that happen.
Now, in the second, in the second Guardians, are we going to see any Howard the Duck, or are they? Was that just a joke at the end?
I
But
think that was
nothing.
just kind of like a little funny Easter egg in the end of the first one. I mean, hey, who knows? I think that'd be kind of cool because everybody knows, a lot of people. If you don't know, Howard the Duck was a movie that was based off a Marvel comic book, and it just was really bad. And just George Lucas even worked on that, but it's just become like this cult kind of classic now. It's one of those movies where it's so bad, it's just so much, but it's just so much fun to watch. So that would be cool to see that. I'm excited. James Gunn did an amazing job with the first Guardians movie. Guardians of the Galaxy was my second favorite movie from last year, just right behind Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, which is another great movie that everyone should go see. It's a really cool story about like the very first computer being used to defeat the Nazis. I think it's just a really cool movie. So anyway, more Marvel news. The Walking Dead's John Berthal, who plays Shane in The Walking Dead, has been cast as the Punisher for the second season of Netflix's amazing series, Daredevil. Not the Ben Affleck version, though, but the awesome, new, and improved Daredevil, which was absolutely freaking amazing.
It's my favorite Marvel thing to date.
Oh my gosh, it's just such amazing. It's like I think it's like the highest rated Netflix original series, which has surpassed House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, and other things like that, which are all great shows. But Daredevil just really has that kind of feel that you need from Marvel because Marvel in the past has always been, oh look, we're Marvel, we're gonna throw in some action and a few jokes to make you laugh. But Daredevil, it's like Daredevil, we're serious here. There's gonna be some blood. There's gonna be some gruesome scenes. So this ain't your ordinary Marvel.
I thought the
So
fighting choreography in Daredevil was really good too.
the choreography itself is just amazing. Just everything about Daredevil is just mind-blowingly awesome. When that series came out, I really didn't bother going to class that morning. I just sat in my room and watched Daredevil all weekend because you know what? I didn't really care because you know what? Daredevil's better than having to listen to your astronomy professor um, talk about nebulas for an hour and a half. So
Have they said who the villain's going to be in this season?
I don't know. I don't think
Is
so.
Wilson Fisk going to be back?
Would you say?
Is Wilson Fisk going to be back?
I hope so because he
He
was
was good.
awesome. So, um, what other Marvel? Oh yes, the
Civil
Civil
War
War
trailer.
trailer leaked recently for Captain America: Civil War. It looks just really cool. It's like not even 30. It's not even like I think it's like
It's
15.
very short.
Very very short, but it looks really really cool.
Who was the I watched it just before. There was like a guy with a black helmet with white on it. Who is that?
Oh, that's Crossbones.
Ah, okay.
So that's going to be really cool to see Crossbones. The funny thing of it's talking about with some of my friends earlier is, why are they calling it Captain America? Why don't they just call it Avengers Civil War? Because it seems to me they're putting every single Avenger in this movie. I mean, like, they're putting in, like, Falcon, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Spider-Man, Black Panther, War Machine, Quicksilver, Vision. I think Vision's in there, but like they're throwing everybody in to this movie, so it's gonna be
It's
really
gonna be
cool to
pretty.
see when this comes out. So I think that's actually it from Marvel. I think.
Yeah, I
Um,
think so.
so now we get to talk. Now we get to go talk about something Tobias is really passionate in. And before we get to Tobias, we never did. I never did give you the chance to tell everybody about yourself. So why don't you just go ahead and do that? Because I completely skipped
Um,
over that.
what is there to know? Basically, I'm diehard about animation. That's sort of my go-to. So most of the time when animation topics come up, I'll be going a bit crazy, talking a lot. I study animation at university, and yeah, that's about it to know. Really, there's not much else.
And also,
Yeah,
Tobias is completely jealous of my shirt.
I am very jealous. Very jealous. They don't sell that
because
shirt
it's
here. I'm Australian, so they don't sell that shirt down here.
if I find another version, if I find another one of these shirts, I will gladly send it to you because I know how much you're jealous of me. So, and it's a great shirt. I love it because it's got literally every one of my favorite Nickelodeon characters on it. You got Reptar, Chucky, Tommy, Rocco, Hey Arnold, Real Monsters, and then Ren and Stimpy as well. So I mean, you can't go wrong with every single one of these characters. You can never go wrong with any good of the good episodes. They're always just a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're the best.
Um, and on the topic of this wonderful invention known as animation, Inside Out, Pixar's latest movie, came out a couple weeks ago, and is just absolutely mind-blowingly amazing
It was.
because it's Pixar.
It was
And
the director. He's like every movie he's done for Pixar. Pete Docter. He started with Monsters Inc. That was his directorial debut, and then he did Up, and now he's done Inside Out. The three movies are like three of the best. Like
oh yeah,
and some of his writing credits are, I think he's written all of the Toy Stories or been heavily involved with the stories. So this guy's like up there with John Lasseter at running Pixar. He's when he puts his heart into a movie, you know you're gonna
oh
get
yeah.
a good.
And I was reading about Toy Story the other day. It turns out Joss Whedon, the man who created
Yeah,
such
he
wonderful,
worked on number one. Was it number one?
yeah, he the original Toy Story was at a stage where it's like, wow, Woody was like a big, like, he was like a dick and everything. So they
Yeah,
gave this like, hey Josh, would you mind taking a look at this? And he like kind of reworked it and just made it. He rewrote the script and reworked it to where to what we know as Toy Story today. So yeah, surprisingly, the man who invented Firefly, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and who directed both Avengers movies could really turn around such a really cool movie to make it even better. So,
yeah.
Joss Whedon, props to you. Thanks for making my childhood and of course Tobias's childhood and so many other people's childhoods just amazing for that little contribution. Um, so yeah, for me, Pixar is just a part of my life that, you know what, I'll never get sick of. I'll probably, I work in a movie theater, and when I ask people what they're going to see, I'll get, like an elderly couple every so often going to see Inside Out. No grandkids or anything. It's just the two of them. And you know what? That's what Pixar is. It's
All
they make
ages.
exactly. They make movies for like if you're 1 or 100. It's like every movie they make, there's something for everybody. And that's what I think Pixar does amazing and better than any other animation studio. Because with DreamWorks, they do like 2, 3 movies a year, and it's like a dartboard. You either hit it right on the bullseye or you completely miss.
Exactly.
So
A lot of DreamWorks stuff's always sequels. Like they really try and build on their franchise,
yeah,
which sometimes doesn't work.
yeah. The Minions movie, I mean, what? It's gonna be big, especially with the little kids. But I'm thinking, I think they're kind of trying to push just the Minion characters are just a bit too much in a few places.
Yeah, that's Studio Elimination Studio. Yeah, Minions is their moneymaker, so I think this may be the last Minions we see. Fingers crossed. But I think they're gonna milk that for all it's worth. And then their next film, which we're actually going to talk about, The Secret Life of Pets. Their newest trailer came out. Oh, about
No,
a week on.
wait a minute. We're still not done with Pixar. We got to talk about Good Dinosaur.
Oh yeah. Good Dinosaur looks
Yeah, Good
fantastic.
Dinosaur. Now I have really actually haven't seen the trailer for this yet.
Really? Have you seen the
I have
teaser?
not. No, I haven't seen anything for it. All I've seen is a couple little pictures of concept art. So I know absolutely jack squat about this movie. So Tobias, why don't you just fill me in and a few other people in? What is this movie about?
Well, they started development quite a while ago, and it had another director, and apparently it was like really down. Like they just couldn't. It was basically done. They weren't going to make it. They got a new director on it, and it's just skyrocketed again. Basically, the story is about a dinosaur who has a pet human. In the trailer, you see when the Big Bang, the meteorite's coming down, and it misses Earth, and basically dinosaurs are superior to humans in the movie. I don't know who's voice acting, and I forget the director's name, but I think it's going to be big. I think if they released that now, I think that and Jurassic World together would have been a really good set to release at the same time.
Peter Sun is directing it.
Yeah, he's a really good director. He's basically pushed the Good Dinosaur, so we're gonna get it. Because I know they had a lot of trouble in development trying to make it interesting. Um, what else could I say about it? It just the art style is really good.
Hmm.
I think it's gonna be funny. Inside Out wasn't funny for me. It was it was a weird emotional because you had Up,
Yeah.
which was really deep, and then Inside Out wasn't. You felt emotional about the characters. It was more. It made you feel about your own life in a
Yeah.
weird way. It's hard to talk about, but
And
both good
something I
films.
love
I
about
think this.
Pixar because Pixar movies will make you think about certain things. And when I got done watching Inside Out, I'm thinking, wow. It's like you just like start getting all these emotions and just weird memories that you've had that you really kind of forgot about come like right back. I'm thinking, wow, that's a little weird. So,
And just how in depth Inside Out was, like with the imagination and the dream sequences.
hmm,
I thought that was really cool.
yeah,
It was a perfect film. I think the voice acting was done really well.
yeah.
Um, the only character I didn't like, I when I first watched, like I was watching the movie and I hated her till about the last 20 minutes, was Sadness. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people like her, but she just gave me the like I don't know what it was, just what didn't click with her. But I think Anger's the best out
Oh
of
yeah,
the
I
emotion.
love Anger was just amazing.
He was great, and his design was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, oh, there we go.
So Good Dinosaur is out from memory. I know it's November. I think it may be November 11th this
25th.
year. 25th. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
25th of November. So we're getting two Pixar films in one year. That's
Yeah. Which I
pretty
think is
crazy.
kind of becoming kind of like a regular thing because I know a couple of years ago, they did. Oh, I want to say Cars 2 in Monsters University the same year.
I think so, maybe. I know that they've said that they're gonna release a movie every year and a half, and Good Dinosaur was meant to be last year's film, but as I said before, the development was
Yeah.
pretty shitty. So now we get two this year because we didn't get one last year. But yeah.
Yeah. Um, the Pixar movie I'm most excited for, Finding Dory.
Oh, have you read the synopsis on that one?
A little bit. I know it's about Dory who starts to kind of remember some things and goes to find her parents.
Yeah, it's about her story of trying to find out where she's from,
Yeah.
and she goes to a marine biology. I don't know what you call them. Basically, where scientists test fish. She
Mhm.
goes there, and it should be really good. I know that apparently we aren't going to see the fish tank crew.
Oh yes.
Listening to I don't know if you listened to it. Rob Paulson's podcast. I had Brad Garrett as a guest a couple of months ago.
Oh wow.
And yeah, he said he hasn't been called on for Finding Dory, and so we'll have to wait and see. I hope we do see them,
Yeah.
um, at least just an appearance because they were really good in the first one. And
Yeah.
the only thing I'm scared is this one is based like straight after the first one. So with the voice acting of Nemo, I really don't know what they're gonna do because the guy that voiced him, I can't think of his name. He's on Weeds as well.
I know it's like Alexander. I know his first name's Alexander.
Yeah, he's the youngest son on the TV show Weeds. I know that when he did it, he was a child, and I don't know if he can still voice act or not. But
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, hey, if they can do a holographic version of Michael Jackson and make it sound exactly like Michael Jackson, I'm pretty sure they can do the same thing with an animated fish.
Mm,
So
it should be good. Pixar's going to be releasing some big films.
yeah, and
Um,
that reminds me about another thing with Star Wars. Could we see? Is there a possibility of us seeing a Force Ghost at some point in the future for a Star Wars film? Because the Wolfpack podcast talked about that in their episode last night, and that got me thinking. You know what? Hey, that might be cool to see a Force Ghost. How they
I
would
would
do it?
love to see Jar Jar in Force Awakens.
Oh my god! Oh, Mr. Blue. Oh, Mr. Shiny.
I really hope after we get episode 8, the spin-off movie is like a road trip with Jar Jar and C-3PO, just going through the galaxy. Like sort of a hangover story, but with
Yeah.
Jar Jar and
As
C-3PO.
much as everybody hates Jar Jar, it still would make millions.
I think it would probably be an Oscar-winning performance by, I think I can't think of the voice actor's name that does him, but I think he'd get an Oscar for it.
Oh, Ahmed Best.
Honestly. Best actor, easy. I hope we get at least something of Jar Jar in Force Awakens.
I think. I remember reading the Vanity Fair article about this, but Abrams has said he's going to put the skeletal remains of Jar Jar Binks somewhere in the movie. So I think that's gonna be a fun little Easter egg to hunt for.
I think the final scene, now you've said that, is Jar Jar Binks' skeleton versing the Force ghost of Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my god. That would be kind of fun to watch.
I don't know who would win.
Yeah.
Speaking of other trailers, have you seen the Kung Fu Panda 3 teaser trailer?
I've not seen that either. Keep forgetting to watch that one, and I'm mad about it.
It was honestly fantastic. The trailer is hilarious. In the trailer,
Kung Fu Panda is just amazing. You know, those are some really cool DreamWorks movies. At first, it took me a while to kind of watch it because I honestly didn't think it would be really good. But out of all places, I watched that on a bus going to a summer camp with my church, and I thought it was just one of the coolest little animated movies DreamWorks has ever done. A couple days later, I watched the sequel, loved the sequel, and then I'm thinking, I didn't know they were doing like a third one until a couple of weeks ago. Thinking, this could be cool.
Well, I think I read somewhere that the director is planning to make a 6-part series, so we still may get another 3 Kung Fu Pandas. So we'll have to see what happens. I know the synopsis for this one, in the trailer, we were introduced to Bryan Cranston's character, who is Poe's father.
Oh.
And what we seen in the trailer was like, it's pretty funny. I think you should watch it after the podcast. It's Poe, and he meets the father. I can't think of the father's name. I don't know if we've got the name yet. And they're both like, I'm looking for my dad. I'm looking for my son. And like they don't click on at all that they're related. It's really good. And the animation looks real. Like it's gonna. I really hope that it's successful. I'd love to see a 4th one if the 3rd one is really as good as the 2nd or the 1st.
Yeah. So I know it's not I know it's not like in order of our schedule, but it's been bugging me. I want to talk about San Diego Comic-Con because that happens in about a little bit less than a week. Next Thursday, it starts next Thursday. I am super excited for, obviously, of course, the Star Wars panel. 2, seeing all the Force Awakens merchandise that's going to come out, and that's what I want to kind of talk about first, prediction wise. We do know that there is a 6-inch exclusive Stormtrooper, which looks just amazing. I'm going to do my absolute best when the San Diego Comic-Con is over to go on Hasbro.com and get one of those suckers, because I've seen some reviews of those. Some people, some like Jedi Insider, Wolfpack Podcast even got a couple of them in early, and they just look awesome. Just the box alone just looks cool. And I absolutely, I'm an Empire. I'm a huge fan of the Empire. I'd honestly fight for the Empire as opposed to the Rebels. I'd honestly, if I had a choice, I would fly a TIE Fighter or command an Imperial Star Destroyer, no questions asked, hands down. So I'm totally in love with this new Stormtrooper design. I think it's just cool. Hopefully they can actually shoot this time and actually hit something. So, and also Kylo Ren, I support the cross guard.
It does look really cool.
I am with the cross guard. On my elbow. Okay.
For San Diego Comic-Con, the thing I'm most looking forward to, and I think probably everyone else's that's read about it is the creators of the fantastic animated series on Nickelodeon, Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. We're getting a full panel dedicated to what we've already seen and the future of the franchise. So I'm hoping they announce another series with
That would
a
be awesome.
Earthbender.
Now I know, Tobias. I don't know if you know this about me, and I'm probably gonna get some hate from you for this, and probably some other people. I have actually not watched a single episode of Avatar.
I hadn't watched it till last year.
Okay.
It is
No, actually, wait,
great.
take that back. I did watch about half of an episode. Cannot remember for the life of me what episode it was, but the only thing I remember is a tank type contraption. There's a couple little tank type contraption things crawling up a cliffside. That's about all I remember from it, and it looked interesting, but I had to go to bed, so I never got to finish it.
You
And
should
I just
really
need to go
check it out.
back.
I think I prefer Last Airbender over Legend of Korra just because you really get a better connection with the characters. But both are like they're ridiculously good. Like story, character. Like Avatar is more funny
Yeah,
and it's more like a road trip kind of series, but it's really good.
yeah.
You should check that out.
Um, so yeah, so I'm just excited for San Diego Comic-Con. I'll probably be working that Friday when during the Force Awakens panel. So hopefully, I'll be on a break when that new trailer comes out. If we do get a new trailer, so I'll be able to watch that on my break and freak everybody out in the break room when I start squealing and just getting all excited like a giddy schoolgirl. So that'll be an interesting experience. And
That's
then speaking of conventions and Star Wars, E3, like 2 weeks ago, Blue.
that was weird.
I think the game that stole E3 had to be EA's Star Wars Battlefront.
It looks fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Did you
Well,
watch the full live stream of E3?
yeah. I watched EA's panel only for the Battlefront game. It's
Yep.
like I'm sitting there watching like the EA Sports stuff. I'm thinking, can you just show the Battlefront because that's like
They honestly don't deserve to have a panel. E3 should have just shown Battlefront. Like,
yeah.
I sat there and watched that. Me and a couple of friends did an all-nighter, and we watched every single live stream. And EA's was the most boring panel of the year.
It's like I'm reading the comments, and to me it looked about 99.9% of the people there watching that panel online were there purely for the Star Wars deal.
I don't know.
And,
I watched it to watch the interview with that soccer player.
oh yeah, that too. That was cool. See, I've never been a big sports fan. I'll
Oh,
watch
neither.
hockey on occasion. Go Blackhawks! Congrats on winning the Stanley Cup. And Quidditch, that's the best. It's hockey, Quidditch, and pod racing. That's about as far as sports go for me. So
Hockey is cool.
yeah.
But E3, I just want to sit on that topic for a bit.
Okay.
I think Xbox. I'm an Xbox fanboy and Nintendo. Nintendo this year really, really disappointed me. Um, they showed like I have a Wii U. I'm probably one of the only people that has one. But they clearly showed that they've given up on the console, and the Nintendo
Yeah.
Next is what they're aiming at, which is really disappointing for people like myself that have put money into the Wii U. And I literally I have 5 games on the Wii U. That's it, and the rest are like generic third-party games that no one wants.
Yeah.
But they did show Mario Tennis, which I will buy, and Star Fox looks not too bad,
Wait,
and we
I
still
didn't. Wait a
no
minute.
Zelda.
Wait a minute. They announced another Star Fox.
Yeah, that was
How
the
did I
only
not?
game that they really showed off.
How did I not hear about this? Okay, hold on. Just give me one quick second. I'm gonna hold on because Star Fox is like my favorite all-time Nintendo game. And apparently this just passed right over my radar. What is wrong with me?
While you look at that, I'll just quickly touch on there's rumors that, speaking of Nintendo and their next console, they said two things. They're not giving up on the 3DS and the Wii U, which I don't know if it'll be an attachment or a whole new console. Apparently they're going to sell it for $139 US dollar. And also rumored that one of the launch titles is going to be Diddy Kong Racing 2, which is pretty crazy. If it has the same engine as Mario Kart 8, it'll be a fantastic game, but it has no rare characters, which was the best part of Diddy Kong Racing on the 64.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the character lineup will be because we have Zelda, Animal Crossing, every single Mario character in Mario Kart 8, so I really don't know.
Honestly, Star Fox is looking kind of cool. I like how the little vehicle can go from like a tank to a ship to a little little chicken walker kind of deal, Star Wars kind of deal.
That is very cool.
It's basically a transformer now, which is kind of cool.
The only thing I'm worried about with Star Fox is I have a friend that said that it won't be just that, but it's the gyroscope controls. If you watch the live stream the whole time, he was moving it around the pad, and I honestly hate any motion controls in any games. If I want to play a game, I want to sit there with a controller. But apparently they announced that you can turn that mode off and just play analog, which, if so, I will definitely get the game. If it's gyroscope only, I'll be passing on it.
Nice.
Hmm.
What else?
Some Nickelodeon news.
Oh, hold on. With the Nintendo, I do have a slight bit of interest in that Mario, like the level designer kind of deal.
Oh, Mario Maker. Yeah, I forgot about that. That is going to be really good, I think.
Yeah, because I watched the Nintendo Championship, and I saw that. I'm thinking, that really kind of did impress me because I honestly did think that was kind of cool.
I know that with that, there'll be like a level grading system. There's a set limit you can upload, and it's going to be sort of like a popularity system. Like the best uploaders will be put on like a dashboard, and the game will come with 100 levels already on it. So you won't just be buying a disc and waiting for people to make levels. And also they've made it so that no one can make unfinishable levels. So every level, if you are good at Mario, you should be able to complete.
Nice.
So that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And that's September, I believe.
Nice. I've been looking into getting a PlayStation 4 now, so.
Well, E3 really, some great games coming for the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
Really. I think this year is going to be really good for gaming. So far, we've got a lot of great games. Batman was one that I'm still yet to finish, but it's been really good.
What do you think about Bethesda with Fallout 4 and Doom?
What did I think? Fallout 3, I literally put nearly 1,000 hours into it, 100% of that game. It's one of my all-time fave games, and when they announced 4, I was like, I'm very excited for 4. The Pit-Boy, I don't know if I'll pre-order that, if I'll get the Pit-Boy edition or not, but I'm definitely picking it up day one.
I think that Pit-Boy edition looks pretty cool.
Mm.
And then Doom, I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty gory.
When I saw Doom, when I saw that mask that the Doom character had, I'm thinking, Halo.
Yeah. I'm really
I saw in the comments, somebody said, didn't realize Bethesda got the rights for Halo. Nice job. They still do better than Bungie.
Oh, don't get me started on Bungie.
Oh.
Not a fan. Some other cool things at E3. Trying to think of other things that really floated my boat. The Xbox, we got a Gears of War 4 coming, which should be fantastic.
The Gears series is awesome.
Ubisoft had every single game they announced looks really good. I'm very skeptical of The Division, and Assassin's Creed is just horse shit. No one cares about that series. That's my opinion. But like the game for Honor, both the Tom Clancy games they showed, so Rainbow Six and Wilderlands, they both looked really good. But yeah, this year was probably one of the best E3s yet.
Yeah. Um, I enjoyed E3 this year. It always falls around my birthday, so that's always kind of a cool little thing to
Yeah,
do.
same here.
So,
Should be good.
let's see what else can we talk about here.
A couple of Nickelodeon news.
All right, go with that.
So Nickelodeon, as some of you may know, I'm a massive fanboy. And July is going to be a big month. We have a new SpongeBob episode airing. I think this is the latest, like the only episode that they've made since the movie, Sponge Out of Water, which fantastic. So we get that July 17th, and Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket, our new Nicktoons series, will premiere on the 18th. It looks really cool. There's not much known about it. It's based off a comic off the creators. It looks really funny, and I think that's it for Nickelodeon news. Besides, everyone should check out Harvey Beaks. If you haven't yet, Owen, I want you to check it out. It's
Yeah,
really good.
absolutely.
It's really if you like Hey Arnold, you're gonna love Harvey Beaks.
Oh, dude,
The,
I love Hey Arnold. I actually bought the complete series for like $20 at a Walmart.
so
My
good.
my first week at school, I went to Walmart and they had like they had the complete series of Hey Arnold for like $20. I'm like, totally buying this.
You couldn't pass that up. It's one of my
Oh,
all-time favorite shows.
and then now they've got Cat Dog at a Walmart, so I need to go. I need to go back there and get a Cat Dog because that's like one of my other shows I used to love to watch. When I was a kid, it was Jimmy Neutron, Cat Dog, Rugrat. It actually will in by order of favorites. It was Rugrats, um, Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Jimmy Neutron, and then the Fairly Odd Parents, and then
Good choice.
probably Danny Phantom. Those are like the shows that I grew up with the most and remember watching. Rocket Power is always awesome to watch. My
Yeah,
favorite episode of Rocket Power is the one where Tony Hawk makes a guest appearance. That was always my favorite episode to
that is
watch.
a good episode.
Um, and then Rugrats. It's honestly for me, I have such a tough time picking a favorite episode because there's so many good ones. Um, because that show it's my all-time favorite cartoon show. All-time favorite
It's
cartoon.
one of mine as well. It's so
Um,
well written.
because I watched that every single day after school. My mom hated it because she just thought it was just weird and just strange, and she thought it's like, oh my gosh, that show's just gonna ruin you. And I mean, this she may have been right about that, but you know what? Oh well. No sense. There's nothing I can do about it now. But All Grown Up was really cool as well. A little bit. It's kind of underrated. I thought that it's a good.
I agree. All Grown Up's very underrated.
My favorite episode of All Grown Up was when they took that field trip. It was Tommy's grandpa and his grandpa and the rest of his science class went to like the big human body exhibit.
I
You remember that
think
one?
I remember it, but
Yeah,
I'm maybe getting confused with when The Simpsons did that as well.
yeah. And then
Mm.
the other part to that episode was Dill had like this burping problem, so that was always kind of fun to watch. And then the other All Grown Up episode I really remember watching was when Tommy would sleepwalk and steal all of his neighbor's stuff.
I
That
think
one
if
I
that
always
show was not Rugrats and they just made a whole new series, I think it probably would have been more if it still had the same quality, more popular. I think it was underrated because Rugrats was so good.
Mhm. And then
But yeah, fantastic.
the little like the movie they did as like the pilot was really cool to watch.
Yeah, it's really good.
I remember when that came out, watching that, and then the Rugrats movies are always really fun to watch. Of course, the first one when Dill was born, and they wanted to go back to the hospital and exchange him, and then Rugrats in Paris was just amazing. I
That's
loved
my favorite.
I just love that whole story for Chucky, trying to to get a mom. That's just such a touching story. And then that song that they have on the airplane, it's just such a
Oh man, that's really sad. That really gets you down.
it's like half the time I watch that movie, I can't even watch that scene. It's with movies like that, there's certain scenes, they get so emotional you just can't watch. For me, it's that scene in Rugrats, and then Jesse's song in Toy Story 2 cannot get through that without just feeling like a crapload of sadness. I always have to skip that part. I mean, it's just such a well-made part of a movie, but it's just so emotional. I just can't bear to watch it. I mean, just like, to me, it just gets so emotional. I don't know why. It's so emotional to a point where I can't watch it because I'm just gonna cry and cry and cry.
Have you also seen Rugrats Go Wild, the crossover with Wild Thornberrys?
I've s- I saw bits and pieces of that when I was little. I
It's
haven't
really good.
I haven't seen the full thing. That was another show I used to watch all the time, The Wild Thornberrys. Completely forgot about that one.
It's
I'm
really good.
all Barry.
There's nothing Nickelodeon hasn't made that's not been amazing.
Oh yeah, SpongeBob is just beautiful. I remember at first I originally wasn't big into SpongeBob at first, but it's funny. My cousin, who was living with us at the time when that kind of show started to really pick up, was a big fan of that show, and she used to watch it. And I started watching it with her and thinking, wow, this show's actually not that bad. It's actually a pretty cool show. So we would watch SpongeBob every night before I would go to bed. That would be kind of our little thing to do.
It's
So that
really
was
good.
that was just really a fun thing to do. And just when she was living with us, it was like I had an older sister because I'm an only child, so it was kind of cool to have have an older sister figure living there for a while, which is really neat.
And she was watching good shows.
Oh yeah, we watched cartoons all the time. We would watch cartoons and movies and stuff like that. We had She really was like an older sister to me. So that was just a lot of fun to have.
Just off Nickelodeon, just some Disney news. We have seen a teaser for the movie Zootopia, the Disney movie coming this year, which I think is going to be awesome. We've got Jason Bateman as the lead role. I don't know. Have you seen the teaser for that one?
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that existed till I looked at the podcast schedule where we're going to talk. I'm like, what in the world is that? So, yeah, it looks like I got a bit of looks like I got
Got
a
some watching to do.
yeah, I got a bit of catching up to do tomorrow.
Zootopia, I honestly feel like it's going to be more in the Shrek vein of humor. It looks a lot more adult based. Plus, Jason Bateman is really, really good at
Yeah,
just being a sarcastic asshole. So I hope that Zootopia is as good as I hope it's going to be.
yeah.
I've got really high hopes for that. And also, a Tangled TV series was announced a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Tangled. That was a really cool movie.
Tangled, I loved. Frozen, I think, is very overrated compared to Tangled. I think it's just that Tangled didn't have the soundtrack that Frozen had.
Yeah, Frozen
Yeah.
was good too. When I first heard about how big Frozen was getting, I'm thinking, oh my god, it's just another princess movie. And then you watch it and then you're like, wow, this was actually really good.
I
Um,
wasn't big on it, to be honest.
I mean, I'm not too big on it. I liked it. I thought, there are aspects, I think they're cool. The funny thing was, we watched it in my English class because I think a lot of I was a senior that year, and I really didn't want to go on like any. I think that was the senior year. I think that was the senior trip to Kings Island, and I'm not much of a theme park person. I'll do Disneyland, I'll do Disney and Universal, but that's about as much of the theme park I'll go. So I really wasn't up for Kings Island. That's where we were. That's where they were going. So I stayed, and we watched. It was like me and like three other people in that class. We watched Frozen till the end of class, and then I went to my forensics class, and there was nobody there. So I'm like, why don't I go back to my English class and watch the rest of Frozen? He's like, go ahead, I don't care. So I watched the end of the movie there, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, I think Olaf is just kind of cool. So Frozen was cool.
And we're getting a sequel.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Yeah. I think that's really it for what I've got written down for some news to tell you guys about.
I think that
Um,
that it.
yeah. Yeah, that's about it for news. What have you been up to this week?
Just working. Picked up the Goof Troop Volume One and the second season of Full House. That's about really all I've picked up. Full
Yeah.
House. That was my sitcom as a kid. Everybody has their sitcom when they're young, you know.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Dude, I still need to finish watching that show on Netflix. I'm like in the halfway through season 4 right now.
It's not on Netflix.
They took it off
The
Netflix.
Australian Netflix is horrible for content compared to America.
Oh, Australian Netflix. Oh, thinking like, yeah, I'm like halfway through season 4, I think.
That show's like the
Yeah, it took
best.
a few episodes to get into. I mean, there were certain things I liked about it. Dewey is just funny. I love Dewey. Dewey's
I
hilarious.
love the dad. He's so good.
Oh
Hal.
my gosh, I mean, and it took me a little bit to realize. Oh, wait a minute, that's Walter White. Yeah, it took like it's like where have I seen that mole? Wait a minute, like it's like it's like that scene in a Toy Story 2. Buzz is like, Ash, throw that man in a chicken suit. I'm thinking, wait a minute, put a mustache and make him bald. Wait a minute, that's Walter White.
Bryan Cranston is so like versatile in acting. He's crazy good.
He's amazing. Put him in a Star Wars movie for crying out loud. He'd be cool in one of those.
I'm just glad he's doing some voice acting for Kung Fu Panda 3. I think that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Very, very keen. As you
Um.
guys realize, most of the stuff that I'm keen about is just animation. It's literally
Yeah.
all I do.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll come to learn in the coming podcast episodes that Tobias is just big into animation. I mean, hey, that's what he's gonna go study for. You're gonna do like storyboards and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Like when I'm in Hollywood making movies, I'm gonna be like, I need a storyboard artist. I'll call Tobias, probably like working at Nickelodeon. He's like, hey, can you come down for like a couple of weeks and do like a quick storyboard for a scene or like an entire movie? So
Fingers crossed.
yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, Tobias has been planning to come out to America for a while, so he's starting to save up for a little bit of that. So yeah, it'd be cool to get him out to the wonderful United States of America and hang out here for a little while.
Yeah, I'm planning to move there, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Come move out here with me, man.
I
Yeah.
think that's really it. Like we've touched on a lot of news that I can see in our list. I can't think of anything that's came out since. It's
Yeah, me
been
neither. So I think that's gonna do it for episode 4. So thanks you guys for watching. We're back.
just before we end, dude. Just we'll touch on our what our plan like the shuttle. I think are we doing weekly or fortnightly episodes?
I think we're gonna do weekly. I want to go back and try to do weekly again because
Yep.
so next week I think we're definitely gonna do like a big San Diego Comic Con episode.
That'll be
So
good.
that'll be good. We're gonna Star Wars and then just basically everything, all the Force Awakens stuff that comes out. We're just gonna really focus with the Force Awakens or San Diego Comic Con and just everything what they have with that. So I think that's gonna just
Also, I hope we can we'll try and figure out a way that we can make as well as the video podcast. We'll get audio so people can listen to
yeah
it on the move. So I find audio podcasts they're my go-tos when I'm doing some sketching and stuff. So we're
yeah.
gonna try and figure that out as well. I remember to like the Facebook page.
Oh yeah, we do have a
And,
Facebook
if you
page.
guys find any news, post it on the Facebook page, and we'll talk about that
Yeah,
too.
and Tobias has been amazing with this animation to do a really cool logo and banner. I'm officially a cartoon character, which I think is really cool. So honestly, I never thought I'd even be drawn in the style of a cartoon character, but you know what? Hey, that's pretty cool. So,
Glad you liked it.
oh, I love it.
I
My
reckon.
mom, my mom, I think loves it more than I do.
I reckon to lead us out, where can I think we should just shout out where the listeners can follow us or see what we're up to on social media. So if you want to
Yeah. Yeah.
plug where you are,
Yeah.
it will
So
also be in the link below on the video. So
yeah, I'll have to go put that in after. But follow me, subscribe to me on YouTube, KennerFreak7, and then Tobias, what's yours?
follow me on Instagram at Tobias Draws. That's where I usually post the most stuff.
Yeah, Tobias does YouTube as well, and also with YouTube, big Simpsons fan as
Yeah,
well.
as you guys probably could see.
Yeah. Um, my early days of YouTube, I was just completely devoted to The Simpsons. I mean, hey, you know what? I still love them. You know, it's just one of those great animated cartoons, primetime cartoons. You know, I mean, you know, even though the episodes are kind of getting kind of, you know, like really, that's what you're coming up with now. But I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? I mean, hey, you know what? They've been on. You know, it's the longest running primetime cartoon. So I mean, hey, you know what? They've had a great run. You know, I mean, hey, you know, what, like 26, 27 seasons, a movie, and
Yeah. I honestly hope they reach 30.
I think, you know what? If they reach 30, I think that you know, if they do reach 30, I think the 30th season, I think that would be my guess where they would stop it. I think that's
That's
what
what I hope.
I think that's what they're trying to do. I'm
Yeah.
guessing 30 seasons, and then we're done.
I think get rid of
So
Al Jean, get James L. Brooks back, and we'll reach 30 seasons.
yeah. So I think we could do a little bit of Simpsons kind of talk for next week's podcast. So
Yeah, I'd dabble in that.
all right, I
So yeah,
think that,
what was that, man?
no, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna tell everyone. So yeah, follow us on those. The links will be below. Follow us on there, and thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, really appreciate it. You know, kind of took a little while to get back into it, but you know what? We're back and we're gonna rock it out. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. So next week, next Saturday, we'll be back with another episode of Saturday Night Geek Podcast. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.